Well, yeah, see, and the reason that I think that that could be useful or meaningful to creators is because oftentimes you can have a subject matter, concept, topic that might not be the most widely appealing one, but it could be really satisfying or useful, or it could be meaningful, let's say, to a smaller group of people. But when you get your analytics back and maybe the sentiment in the comments was like, hey, we love this, but then it wasn't widely appealing. And so analytics doesn't do a great job of telling you that this may not have been the biggest hit video, but amongst the group of people who watched it, 82% chose 5-star satisfaction. In which case you might say, hey, I don't mind serving that crowd, even if it means that I'm making content decisions away from the widest funnel. Like, not everybody's going to be Mr. Beast who's targeting everyone. And that if we're talking about value, if we start to think in the value mindset, like, I want to provide something that's really valuable for a small subset of people, I think that people who create that kind of content could benefit greatly from being able to put some kind of a score on that value per user.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. And I do think that that would be something, certainly something, I mean, worthwhile for us to figure out a way to tease out and actually, like, you know, I view that as just, you know, it should be part of the stable of insights that we provide you to give you sort of that level of granularity. You know, another kind of take on it that I could see is if it actually isn't a huge hit, but it does pop for whatever reason with a particular segment of your viewer base, what are the characteristics of that viewer base? What are the other things that are interesting to you? So I do think that would be, I think, super valuable, especially for you know, channels like yours that have a very broad fan base already.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, you know, you do it as long as I have, and you have such a variety of subject matter that you cover in terms of like products that show up on the show, and you have a subset of the audience that wants to see more obscure items and wants things to be a certain way, and then you have other audience members that will only click on some sort of high-profile brand or product, and so you can't help but become conditioned to want to service the biggest group, even though the smaller group exists within there, and you kind of wish there was a way to quantify the significance of serving them as well. This is complex, how to figure something like this out, but when you have, and I'm sure this is the case for a lot of channels that have been doing this for a long time or have large subscriber bases, you end up with quite a variety inside of your own community.
Yeah, and that variety can be across multiple dimensions. You mentioned it across products. It can be across geographies for you know, other creators, and a whole slew. So I think that's really great feedback.